What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Talk. As usual, I'm your host, Patrick Hennessy, joined tonight by the man, Brendan Kramer. How we doing tonight, Brendan?
I'm great, and yes, I'm wearing a beanie inside. Don't ask questions.
Yeah, I wasn't going to ask any questions, but we do have a fun topic to talk about tonight. You guys know the drill. Before we do start, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on those notifications too. It helps us out a bunch. Appreciate everyone who's helped supported the channel thus far. We still have a long way to go. However, tonight, the topic I do want to talk about is Aaron Judge. I mean, the man, the myth, the legend, right? He has something to prove this season. And I know a lot of people are going into this season with very differing views about the Yankee superstar, to be honest. I'm going to say right now that he has something to prove. I think looking back at Aaron Judge's past couple years, they've definitely been somewhat disappointing with high notes. I think that's a perfect way of describing it. 2020, for example, the 2020 is the main year I want to focus on just because it's the most recent. Started off the season historic. I mean, based on how Aaron Judge started off the 2020 season, we easily thought he was coasting to like an MVP campaign, possibly MLB home run leader, like 2017 Judge vibes, right? And then, of course, he suffered the injury. It was the calf injury, I believe, right?
Yes,
and then
that happened in Tampa.
Yes, and then he came back for one game against the Braves, right? And he said he was 100% ready. He shouldn't have been on the DL in the first place. And then, bang, that's it. He was out for a month, maybe, after that.
Yeah, a month.
Around that. And then once he came back, I believe he batted like 194. Didn't hit any home runs in the regular season. Didn't even look like himself in the playoffs. I know he had 3 home runs. That were pretty big home runs, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But he still didn't look like typical Aaron Judge. And that's why I think going into this season, Judge has something to prove. We're talking about a guy who every year we consider him a top MVP candidate. He definitely has the potential to be it. He should have won the 2017 MVP, but that's a conversation for a different day. So, Brennan, what do you agree with me when I say that Judge has something to prove this upcoming season?
And I actually think I'm going to go a little bit deeper into this, and that the fact that not only does he have something to prove, but if Aaron Judge does not stay healthy, and I'm not talking about like if he gets a freak injury, you can kind of give an excuse for that. But last year was a calf injury, something that actually lingered. Also, he has a history of not talking about his injuries and playing through them. If Aaron Judge does not continue to stay healthy, the Yankees are probably going to sign him, but he's not going to get as much as he wants. Because every year we say we're going to win the World Series if Judge stays healthy. What is preventing him from staying healthy? Stanton dropped the weight, and besides the leg injury, he still looked better. But what is Judge doing that's continuing to have him be injury prone? I mean, it's getting to the point where if he doesn't stay healthy, you don't drop. Let's say Judge is free agent, he's asking for 25 to 30 million, but he has not had a single fully healthy season since 2017. I'm sorry, but I don't care how good he is. I'm not signing him. That hurts to say, but you can't give 25 to 30 million to someone that can't stay on the field. So he needs to show that he can stay healthy. And yeah, he's not going to play 162. If he can play at least 140 games, that is what we're asking for.
Yeah, that's the number I was going to say too. 140 is probably the target for Judge. No one's asking him to play 162 games a full season. No one's asking for that. But that's why I think this year he genuinely has to prove that he can stay on the field. And because we know that when Judge is on the field, he's most likely going to perform at an MVP level. But that's why he just has to prove that he can stay on the field so he can solidify himself as not only the face of the New York Yankees, which he still is despite all the injuries and whatnot, but we're talking about a guy who has the potential to be the face of Major League Baseball. And if he can stay on the field, that'll easily happen just because he's so marketable. I mean, I love Aaron Judge. And don't get me wrong, last year, I had frustration. With Aaron Judge, as all Yankee fans do, because it's not like we're frustrated with Aaron Judge as a person, because I think everyone loves him. But I think it's more frustrated with the fact that we know this guy has so much potential. And we just want to see him have the ability to play a full season. Because looking back at Judge's seasons since coming up, he's only played over 120 games once. And that was in 2017 when he played through an injury for half of the year. So technically, he shouldn't have even played a full season that year. But when he did, 52 bombs. I mean, like, that's a typical season we expect.
Should have been 53.
That's true.
Should have been 53.
That's true. But also, I mean, that's what we expect from a full season out of Aaron Judge. And then 2018, we know he had that freak injury. Jake Junis, you bum. And then 2019 struggled a little bit. He had the oblique thing, right?
Yeah. And he never really recovered from that. And that the oblique injuries take a while to recover and get used to, especially with Judge. But I mean, but also the thing I think that we've talked about before is that what really bothered me the most is that he didn't talk about the injury
Sure.
before 2020. He says, "Oh, I'm fine, thinking he was fine. No, like I don't care. But all the Yankees should have like end of year physicals. I know they have beginning of the season physicals, start getting end of years because now pitchers and catchers are reporting, players are going to start reporting. Most fans like, oh, I can't wait to see content about our favorite team's Twitter posting about it. Us is like, okay, so who's injured?
Yeah.
And if I see that, we just got to hope that both the Judge with his yoga comes in healthy for the first time.
I was just going to mention the yoga too, because I do think while we all joke about it, I think it is kind of a big thing, only because I'm hoping that Stan and Judge taking up yoga, I hope that's a sign of 2020 was a wake-up call for everyone involved, Aaron Judge in particular, that 2019 wasn't a fluke, right? And that injuries can happen and they could destroy an entire season. So 2020 might have been the wake-up call for that. Now these players are kind of realizing like, shit, like I got to stay on the field because if I'm not on the field, this team kind of turns to shambles. And that's why Judge and Stan are so important. But I look at Judge in particular because he is the face of the franchise. And that's why 2021 is that prove-it year for Judge. I do think that if he misses significant time again this year, the Yankees might have to rethink their future.
1,000%.
Potentially a future without Aaron Judge. Because right now, I would say that they base the franchise around Judge. And as you would with your franchise player. But if he misses a significant amount of time this year, they might have to be rethinking that. What do you think?
I have to agree. I think I totally agree with you. But me knowing the Yankees and them being realistic, I think if anything, it would be the difference between low 20s and upper 20s in terms of millions of dollars that he gets. But I agree with you on that part, that if he gets hurt again and it's not like a freak injury, for lack of better words, like let's say he doesn't take like a comeback or like he gets hit in the head or something, like I'm talking about like soft tissue muscle type injury, then you're like, okay, maybe he is not built for this.
Yeah, we could then solidify him as being injury prone. There's one more thing I do want to mention tonight. And I guess we can make kind of our predictions as far as Judge's 21 season. I think Judge is going to play approximately, I'm going to say 130. I'm going to say 130 games.
Still would be fine.
I think that would be an ideal scenario too. He'll probably hit maybe. Listen, I'm going to go the bare minimum. I'm going to say 35 home runs. If he could hit 35 home runs in 130 games, that would be an ideal situation. But I do think at the end of the year, I think we'll be looking back and being like, this was a very successful season for Judge, and I think it kind of changed many people's outlook on him.
My prediction is MVP. I'm going all out. He's going to stay healthy. He's going to hit above 300, 40 home runs, going to lead the league in RBIs, and he's going to play the best defense he's played his entire career. He's going to be he's going to be a 10 WAR player.
Love to hear it. I mean, it's also not that far-fetched of an idea, too. When people comment on our chat, they're like, hot take, Judge wins MVP next year.
That's not a hot take.
I wouldn't say that's a hot take, just because
a hot take is him being a 10 WAR player. A hot take is him being a 10 WAR player, which is very hard to do.
Sure. But now that is going to wrap things up for us tonight. Appreciate everyone for watching. Like I said earlier, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on those notifications, too. It helps us out a bunch. We do go live every night, 9 p.m., Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Then we go live at 10 on Twitch, twitch.tv/Unhinged New York. Appreciate you all. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe, and have a good day. Peace.